than Audacity on Linux if you're using shared libraries. And that's just because we have to build all the libraries every time. Every time we run a configure, and I think we can probably speed the build process up somehow, because it doesn't really make sense to compile every library every time. I'll have to look into that. No, it definitely doesn't do it a clean compile every time. I don't know. It just takes a long time on the Mac. So anyway, is there any other bugs I can be looking at while this is going? So I'll come back to this thread. Some professional sound cards are not fully compatible. Unfortunately, I sold my RME Fireface when I left Berlin. So I don't have a really good sound card right now. I have a Firebox, but that one's like... the PreSonus Firebox is not the best interface, and it's kind of breaking down. So I don't want to test things on that. Contrast tool may analyze the wrong track. That's interesting sounding bug. I think Martin fixed this. Tested successfully on Linux. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so here Martin said fix made. Yeah, let's look at some of these. I guess this is that fix. Thank God for comments. Looks like this one paid off. So what is he doing? If the track's selected, then this effect selected equals true. Okay, so they're just it's just limiting it to only do one track, or return some error. I don't know what this 1, 2, 3, 4 is about. It's pretty weird looking error code. That's weird. But Martin, I just know Martin didn't create that convention. That might be worth taking a look. Wow, the stars on Google Mail don't work anymore. Now they do. Should display track name in... Okay, the Mac finished, so let's go back over to that. And the build has failed. Get the camera working. So what's wrong? I really like Xcode 3 compared to Xcode 4, because they'll tell me stuff like this. Batch commands, apply command. It sounds like stuff related to my last patch. I'm not sure what this is talking about. Let's see. SVNDF reveals that we still have a lot of local changes for some reason. but svn source diff reveals nothing. Okay, so there is a batch command symbol that's not being defined. It's declared but not defined. Let's look at batch commands.cpp and make sure that's getting compiled. Is it batch eval command? Batch commands. So that was called what? Oops. Apply command. Okay, so it exists. It's been compiled. We might have to do a make clean. But that will take so long. Let's just recompile this file. I think we can do that. Compile. Okay, so it compiled that. Now we can build. Linking. Now this time it succeeded. That was weird. I don't know what caused that error. But anyway, doing the local recompile fixed it. It was probably stuff related to some modifications in my other patch. But we're not going to get too carried away with that. So now I'm going to patch this stuff. I can access my Linux box from here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. CP, what is it? Yeah, so looks like I am logged in. Yeah. So I'm just going to drag this here. And pops up there. Oops. And what do we call that? Downloads. What did I call it? Freak something. Yep. So I'm going to take it into our directory on the Mac and apply the patch. First, let's look at it, make sure it's good. Looks fine. We want to run first. Yes. So what is it? Frequency something. It sounded like a pretty minor bug. I'm surprised this was P3. If it looks fine on a local computer and just looks wrong remotely, I mean it's a bug, but frequency analysis window. Let's look in the Bugzilla because this doesn't have steps to reproduce. Steps to reproduce. On a few WinXP machines, the background of frequency. Okay. Anyway, let's make some tones. We'll make it last 20 seconds. And then, what is it? Frequency analysis graph. Oh, it's spectrum plot. Okay. Is that what they meant? Okay, it's not transparent here. Let's look on VNC. It's not transparent there. Yeah, but nothing's really broken looking, so I think we can check it in. Yeah. I think there's our new algorithms. I think before we just had spectrum and one autocorrelation. Someone was complaining about the Hamming window. No, the Hanning window. I like the Hamming window. They're pretty similar results. Okay. So it looks okay before the patch. Let's apply the patch. That is from, looks like it's from the source. Actually, this patch isn't from the source directory. So if I do this, okay, never mind. I guess it's just in the source. I expected it to be in a subdirectory. But anyway, we applied the patch. Now let's try run. Oh, we're already running. Quit this guy, don't save, and rerun. Nice thing about this is when there's not a clear description, I can just send the YouTube video to somebody to say, hey, this is what I looked at, tell me if I need to look at more. I'm just trying to find ways to exploit these YouTube technologies as much as possible. I mean that in a good way. Okay, so we're going to generate our tones. Yep. Then we're going to plot the spectrum. And we don't see anything weird, right? Move it around. We can do something. So these are just sine tones below much lower than what you would have in a real, like a speech signal. So I'm going to use the mic. Hey, what's up? This is me. I'm trying to speak loudly so you get a full signal. And yeah, I guess the Mac mic has pretty low cutoff, but we take that and plot the spectrum and see what happens. We can normalize it if it's too low, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so this has a much fuller spectrum, and I don't see any weird stuff. So I'm gonna say that this is fine. Just double check to make sure he's not mentioning anything else. I don't see why transparency is being used here at all. It makes sense. Yeah, it's good that he submitted a patch besides just saying comment something out. Okay. I'm going to commit it because a lot of people have already tested it. I don't think we should spend more time on this. Just make sure there's no issues. Unless there's a picture. No, this is just the adapter. The background frequency is not transparent, but the screen capture of But a screen capture of the background. Ah, I see. So this is like a Windows thing. Somehow it ignores the buffer. And yeah. Yeah, it looks good. So let's close it down. And I like to close Audacity when I commit something, even if it's from the source directory. So let me just double check. There might be changes in the project. Ah, sorry. You have to see that. So there's changes in the project file, but that's it. I don't want to commit those, so I go to the source directory and we'll say, we've been using this kind of syntax. That's the Control R button for those still getting used to the console on Mac or Linux. What bug